Hello. This car's not for sale. I'm just making this video because people seem to like the Fleetwood videos I make. They're pretty popular, and just going to show you my driver here. In contrast to the 96 Calypso Green one I have, which only has 16,000 original miles, this one's got 102,000 miles, and it's a 94 painted Amethyst, which was available on the 94, 95 Fleetwoods. So, let me see. I know the first thing everyone's going to complain about are the wheels. I don't care. The reason why I select these wheels often for my cars is because, as you notice, there's no vents or holes or anything, so the brake dust doesn't get the wheels and the white walls dirty every time you drive around the corner. For some reason, General Motors in this era, especially Buicks and Cadillacs, always like the lattice or lacy looking wheels, and you have to get down there with a small detail brush to clean them every time. And really, because I don't like ceramic brakes, I prefer semi-metallic brakes. They do better braking for me. They make a lot of brake dust, and I'm tired of washing them every time I go to the grocery store. So that's the, I don't care what you think, that's the way it is. And you're also going to complain about the Asian-made white wall tires, the Hankooks. I don't care about that either. So you go ahead and complain. I'm not even going to comment on your complaint. So I've been replacing a couple of these rocker moldings, and as I replace them, I paint them again. So that's why there's some painted and not some are not painted. Eventually I'm going to go around the car and repaint all the rub strip moldings so they match. Here's one I replaced, but it turns out that this dent I can't get out, and it keeps on popping back in. It's like a wah 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 wah, like the thunder making pieces of metal for movies. It keeps on doing that, so I have to replace it again. The guy who owned it before was someone who's even older than I am, and he does tend to park by feel, so there's a lot of little dings and stuff that had to be worked out, and most of those have been, so it's vastly improved since when I bought it. But there's still, it's a driver. It's a very nice driver. It's a very fast car. This is probably the fastest LT1 I've had in my collection so far. Every car is different, and this one's really broken in nicely. So now this Amethyst color is definitely a gray color, but as you know, Amethyst is kind of a purple color, and in the just right lighting, which may or may not show up on the YouTube, you can see a purple tint to the pearl essence in it. Sometimes even in the dark it looks more pearl than it does in the light, so it's really unpredictable how it's going to look. Here's an example of parking by feel. I don't know how he managed that, but the very next year, 95, the mirrors went to a collapsible style, which would have helped this poor guy out. But I'm not going to worry about it. That way, if I ever hit this garage with the mirror, I'll have someone else to blame. So you can see a little, little scratches on it, stuff like that. No big deal. Everything's working. Not everything was working when I got it, but I got everything working. Every accessory, every Every option is working. Now the interior is pretty nice, actually. You can see the typical place where it splits here, no problem. Also, the B pillar, where this snaps back and eventually wears a hole, no problems, beautiful. No crack in the dash. And all importantly, here's a cup holder for 2 people. Very good. And just to remind everybody, this is a Fleetwood Mac. This album was made before they nicked Stevie. And it has the optional CD player. And I've installed a FM modulated CD changer in the trunk, which was the option. The actual option was a 6 changer, a 6 CD changer from GM, FM modulated style that it was dealer installed on the Fleetwoods. On the other Cadillacs, you could get the actual accessory that works with the radio controller, but with the Fleetwoods, they didn't have that option, so it was a FM modulated style. And as with all the 93 to 96 Fleetwood Broughams, you have your bottom bitch vanity mirrors. You got 2 of them. I guess you could have 2 bottom bitches, but that kind of goes against the definition. Available on the Fleetwood base model, the Brougham has rear cup holders. A rear cup holder. And this is a good place to put your little Derringer, you know. So, yeah. Cup holder galore. Also has the rarely found, for some reason, not too many Fleetwoods I've ever seen have them. I always have to add it, and I did have to add it with this one, the garage door opener. Go ahead and look in the trunk. Here we have, in case you have to take, you know, your guy for his last ride. You know, you have to at least be courteous enough to offer him a cup holder. This kind of brings back memories when we brought Joey Smallwrist Bonachuki. And we had to tie him up and put him in the trunk. And if you ever wanted to drop a dime on my mother-in-law, I supply the cash. So this is my professionally installed drug dealer CD changer. Normally it would say General Motors, but you have to be careful, you know. I don't want to bruise his head. Okay. And as the British would say, let's look under the bonnet. Yeah. I never really detailed the car. I just it's just as is, basically. No detailing, it's just decently taken care of. I mean, why make your bed in the morning if you're going to have to go back in it at night, you know? That's what I'm talking about. So, a very enjoyable ride. I kept the load leveling shocks in the back. They've been replaced, so they're newer. But I put severe duty shocks in the front, and it really makes this a really nice handling a car. I can take mountain corners without any sweat. Very nice. It surprisingly handles very well for a large car. Yeah, I didn't put a turbo exhaust in this one. I kept it stock. So I know a lot of people complained about my exhaust modifications on my other Fleetwoods too. I decided I have one car that's quiet. It wouldn't be bad to have one car completely quiet. So this is my quiet car. It's quiet quitting. Here, this air conditioner controller, what I usually do, and I have done here, is I replace the Cadillac controller with a Buick Roadmaster controller. And it gives a little bit more manual override functions, like directing the airflow. I can do that manually, where it's only automatic on the Cadillac. Also, the fan, I can override the automatic, and there's 5 different settings for the fan, which you cannot manually do with the Cadillac. The Cadillac offers auto high, auto low, and low, but when it's on the auto high or low, it will adjust the fan according to the difference between the temperature outside and the temperature inside. And I like to have a little bit more control over anything in my life, including the air conditioner. So it's not as easy as it may seem. There are 2 methods that I have used. The Buick mounting screws are on each side. The Cadillac are on top. So either I take a Buick and cut off the mounting tabs and fabricate some type of mounting tab to put in the Cadillac, or in this case, I take 2 units, completely tear them apart, and make a hybrid unit that fits and screws in the Cadillac using the Cadillac tabs and casing, and then using the front of the Buick for the controls. So it ruins a completely, it scraps a completely good unit to get to accomplish that, but the results I like better. It's not uncommon for people to do that who have Fleetwoods, because I learned it on some of the forums how you can put a Roadmaster in a Fleetwood to get better control over the air conditioner heater. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. I'm glad we're not driving into the sun, because my windshield's kind of dirty. That it's not apparent going this direction. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this rather short video. Maybe. So, anyway, enjoy it. It's if you ever get a chance to buy one, if these kind of cars interest you, they're quite nice cars.